So today we will do how to do Spring, how to create the beans using Java classes. So you can use, so all this while we were creating the beans using XML. So I am now commenting the whole file, Control A and Control Shift slash. Okay. I'm not deleting this file, I'm commenting this file. So now there is no application context as a XML. So all this data now we will fetch from the Java. So what we will do is we will make one more package over here, and we will make it as a config package. So to your main package, add one more package called config, and okay, so you can delete or comment the XML file if you wish to, or comment it. Okay? You can delete the XML file or comment it entirely. Make a package com.componentname.config, that also I have made. In that, make a class by the name app-config. It is a user-defined name. You can give any name. So you can give the name what it was of your XML file also if you want. So if you add application context, you can give that name, or you can give any other name. So, so let's say I give a class called as, hope it doesn't conflict with any of my, oh, no, application context. So now this class will contain all the information which my XML class was containing, my XML file was containing. Okay. So if ever I have, so first what did we make? First we made a bean of the engine using constructor. We made this, right? Yes. So whatever we made over there, we'll try to replicate that over here. So here you will make methods. So you'll make a public. This will give you an engine, right? This is get engine using constructor, right? So, so this is the detail which we need to create. So I'll just make a engine object. Okay. And I'll add these as my constructor values. 1000 electric Tesla and 100.0, right? Shift O, and then this we can remove it. Okay, and then we can return this, and then we can return engine. Okay, so then we have to annotate this method with add bean from the Spring context. And remember, the bean method has to always be public. Bean method has to be public. Yes. So we have done this, and this class which will contain all these beans, we will annotate with add configuration. Yeah, so this is not any business logic class, this is a configuration class. Okay, and okay, so let's come here, and now we'll make a driver app for the Java based beans. Okay, so Java based, so we have engine already, right? So we can click. here now the this will change. Okay, the factory class will change, so you have to use this factory class, this one, annotation config. Okay, annotation config application context. So we had class XML, class path XML application context. Now what are we going to use? Annotation config. Okay, so now we will be using annotation config application context, and this will be application context. This parent class can be. Okay, so this you will take from ORG Spring Framework context application context. Okay, so there should not be any miscommunication with this application context and one which we have imported. Okay, so here you could have given the name as my application context if you don't want to cause any confusion. So wherever there will be my, it is the programmers. Okay, so there is no confusion between this application context and the one we are using in the driver app. Yeah, so this is the application context coming from the Spring framework. Okay, now this should work. So now which bean are we going to fetch? We have to give that method name now. Yeah, so that will be our bean ID. That is and from where are we getting this bean? Where is this bean kept in? My application context, which is in which package? Yes, okay, so we can just give the class name and then we can import that class. So we have to give the name of that class over here. Dot class and import it. Okay. So earlier we were giving the path of the XML file. Now there is no XML file. It is a Java based file. So from this file Java class we are getting all the beans. So let's try to change the. Okay, so this is a 3000 diesel engine from Toyota or any brand which we have not. Hyundai. Okay, let's say Hyundai, and the cost is 200 units. So let's try if this works and we get our first Java based bean. Okay, we have got it now. Okay, so now this is looking very cumbersome, very lengthy name. So if I want to shorten the name, like we had E1, E2, they had the ID attribute, no? So what we can do over here is, now if I want to make a bean using setter getters, then using setter. So when I will make this, I will not pass anything, and then here we can then set it engine dot set engine cc, let's say 1200 cc, engine dot set engine cost 120 units, engine dot set manufacturer name, let's say Tata engine, and engine dot set engine type, let's say it's a petrol engine. Right, so I return this. I don't want this such a big name, so here then I can give an attribute called name equals to e2. Instead of giving such a big, get engine by setter, now I can say only what? I can directly just say, okay, so I have put over here, see, in the document I have put name. name equal to E2, right? So now this is not there, so there will be no conflicting, else it would have conflicted with this one. So I have commented out this. So next time if I want that engine, the Tata engine, petrol engine, I can directly just say what, like we were doing earlier. So this should give me the Tata engine. And these engines by default are having scope as singleton. So if I get one more engine of V2 and I compare with engine 3, what will it give me? True or false? True means it is a, by default it is a, so that also we can change over here by adding scope at the rate scope. Okay, and then you can mention the scope of that engine. You see over here, so you can give over here prototype. So now it becomes prototype. Now will it be true or false? Now will it be true or false? False, because each engine will have a separate. Okay, so now it will be false. Okay, getting it? So this is how we will create. So let me create one more gear now. So in my application context, I go here, or here in my application context, and I want to make two gears also. And you have to remember the bean class method has to be always public. Okay. I want to say get gear using constructor and get gear using setter, and I want to give them G1, G2 name. So I will give like this, right? And G2. And I want to make both as prototype, so I can make so here I will make, so what we were doing earlier, you can just copy that over here if you want, when we had done it in 26, only made the engine over here, we didn't make the gear. Okay, so this will give me a gear. So what are the parameters of that gear which we have to pass? 7 Tata, 7 lever. Okay, now this is BMW costing 50 units. Okay, or we can then now set it. Return time also will be gear, and this gear dot you have to call the setters. Let's say 14 lever. Okay, let's say any Audi gear, set price 100 units, and return the gear. Okay, so now I have two gears, gear 1 and gear 2. Similarly, I can make the car class, car bean now. So I'll make a public car. Then you can make that using constructor. Car using constructor, and you can make it as the bean public. Okay, I will call it as C1. me a car, so I would have to create a car. So I want to create a car with all these also inside. So how will we do that? So car is new car, right? And what does the car need? The car was this one, right? Tesla. What is this S? Okay, Tesla S white 1000. So Tesla, any other brand? Say R. Okay, Z cost. Okay, and then we'll have to inject either of these beans right over there. So to inject these beans, we can use auto wire. What we can do? So we need in the car we need a constructor of this 4 type which is already there, and return this car. Now, but now this car needs a engine and gear, correct? So what I will do is I will come to the car class now, okay, and now I will tell which engine. So I will use at auto wired. So means pick up any bean which suits you. So this by default is auto wire by type. So will this work or will it fail? Auto wired means auto wire by type. So will this fail or will this succeed? This will fail because I have two engines, no? When I say auto wire by type means I tell the IOC container to inject. IOC container will come here in the configuration and will check, okay, I need to inject engine, but there are two engines I have. One is get bean using constructor and other is E2. So if I make this also as E1, just to avoid confusion, but then it will cause a problem over here because I did not change it over here. So now what to do? No. That so here we have qualifier in Java in annotations. We have qualifier. What we have at the rate qualifier. So here you have to give which bean you want to pick. Okay. What do we have at the rate qualifier? Okay. I want to inject engine 2. So now this will become by name. Okay. And this auto wire I want to inject gear 2. So I will say what? G. Okay. So now that car class will be made using this constructor, 4 attributes, and the remaining 2 will be auto wired. Auto wired means it will ask the IOC container that you please do the injection for me. Okay, so we had learned 3 ways of dependency injection: setter, getter, and auto wired. This is the third one, auto wired. So auto wired means you are telling the IOC container that I am in need of this dependency. You please do this dependency injection for me. So IOC container will go and search for the beans and inject the bean over there. It will create the object of that bean and then inject it for you. So auto wired, we know auto wire, right? So just in Java cases we use in annotations we have at auto wired. These are called as annotation, at configuration, at bean, at scope. What are these called as? Annotation. So if you want to do auto wiring using annotation, which annotation to use? Auto wire. And if you want this, so auto wired is by type. Okay, so if you just give auto wire, it will take by default it will take by type. So if you want it by name, then give qualifier. So now so in the C2 it will inject which engine and which gear. So it will engine the Tata petrol engine and the Audi 14 lever gear, right? So if I come here and if I ask for the car, okay, and I want car C1, right? C1, okay, and it will be of car class. So let's see how it does the dependency injection. Okay, Tesla red color car, engine is petrol engine from Tata, and gear is 14 lever Audi gear. Okay, so I have these beans over there ready, so it is giving me over here. Okay, if I have a class over here student, right? So is the student, now it is asking using this post construct and pre destroy methods. Okay, these are all annotations. So if I come here, is there any bean for class student over here? There is no bean for class student, right? So if I come here in the application context, or if I come here the driver app, and if I ask for the student class bean, that give me a bean of class student, will it give me? So if I say so, will it give me any bean of student class? Why no? So if I run this code, this bean is not there. There is no bean of the student class. Is there? No bean, right? So if I run, this should say no bean found. ठीक है? क्या बता रहा है ये? No such bean definition exception. No bean found. No qualifying bean for type student, है ना? So if you want that IOC container should have a bean of a class created. Okay, how many types of constructors in Java? उसके पहले कुछ नहीं है. नो आर्क्स के पहले कुछ नहीं है. डिफॉल्ट क्या करता है? जहाँ जहाँ इंटीजर होगा वहाँ ज़ीरो, जहाँ ऑब्जेक्ट का रेफरेंस होगा वहाँ पर नल, या डबल डबल होगा तो 0.0, बूलियन होगा तो फॉल्स, राइट? देन इज नो आर्क्स. So what it does is, if I ask for a bean which I have not put in the context, so if you want IOC container to create a bean by itself using its no args constructor, using its default constructor, so annotate all such classes as component. So for the component classes, IOC container will create a bean using default constructor. Using what? And now you should know that now you have to instruct your application context that where the components are there. So you have to tell the application context that please scan for this package. In that package there are some component classes. Component classes means IOC container will create the bean of the component classes by using default constructor. So you have to inform your application context that please look for the component in this packages. So you have to mention over there. See over here, component scan. Okay, so you have to use at the rate. So where are the components kept? So yeah, so base package, and here you have to give. So in which package? So you are telling that, array, which package, man, which package is student a package? Which package? Why are you saying dot student after that? So it will tell IOC container please scan for the packages because they might contain some component classes. So it will go and scan. This is a component class. Why have I not made it add component? Because I am writing my own custom beans, right? Why have I not made the engine as component? Because I am writing its custom beans. Why have I not made gear as component? Because I am writing the custom beans. Why have I made student as component? Because yeah, but still we can inject that and we can use that. So here you will have to go in your main and then directly have to give the class name. Okay, so IOC container will create a bean of that class, get an object of that class using, and it will be assigned to this reference. So what are there in the student? Roll number, name, percentage, right? So what will be the roll number of student 1 if I'm displaying it? Integer is 0, name is string, and percentage is okay. So let's save and let's run it. So this is what you have to do. Annotate the class as component if you are not making any bean of it and you want IOC container to make a bean using default constructor. Annotate your application context and tell that please scan for all the component classes over here. You can give multiple packages name also, comma separated, and then you can directly give the class name and then run it. Okay, so let's run and check if everything goes well. Okay, sorted. Makes sense. If I make one more bean of student, okay, and let's check whether the student 1 and student 2 are pointed to the same address. So we will come to know whether it is making a singleton bean or prototype bean. So it's making a, by default, beans of type singleton. So if you want to make a custom bean, okay, I want to write roll number as 18, name as Virat, percentage as 78.5, then you go and make a custom bean. Yeah, okay, so you can make an explicit bean. But if you don't want to make any bean and just want IOC container to make a bean out of it, just annotate it with add component. Okay, so these are the various styles we will use over here. And I also showed you auto wired today, right? Third way of dependency injection is auto wired. So if you're using annotation based, use a lot of auto wire. Making sense?